Okay, we're just going to go through the export persona. I like using this sometimes to modify just the crop and resize pictures to size for things like social media posts and whatnot. So it's an easy way to sort of just create a bunch of frames that you can put all your images into and look at all at once on the screen. And it's fairly straightforward. So first thing you want to do is just create a new document in Affinity Designer. And I like to use pixels so I can get the right size. So for this, I'm just going to create a page and then I'll do the rest in a minute. If you're doing obviously copying into like you're printing, then obviously fix up your color profiles here, but you can actually do that in the app anyway. So this will be my starting point, and I've just got a page here, but I'm actually just going to create some artboards. So first artboard I'm going to create, I will make copies of. So I'm going to do some square social media posts. So I'll do them 1080 by 1080, so it fits a phone screen and things like that. And that's sort of the recommended style, as you would know. And so I've got one here, and I'm just going to make some copies of it. So I've just gone back to the select tool, or the move tool, sorry. And I'm just going to select them. I'll put a bit of space around them, or maybe I'll do, and you can do as many as you like, but you might want to do them in batches or whatever. So I've got my 6 images here, or 6 artboards that I'm going to drop some images into, and I've got some images that I've prepared earlier. So some of them are almost square, but I'm going to make them sort of crop them a little bit and make them perfect for social media. So I might crop sections out of them and things like that. So I've got 6 images selected, and I'm just going to drag them in, and you'll see that they'll all populate one artboard. So then you can just basically move. Well, actually, one thing you can do is while they're like this, you can actually hold down Shift and just approximately resize them. It'll make them all a bit easier to work with as you go through. So now I'm just going to drag them into the artboards, and you'll see that one thing that's happened is each of these artboards now looks like a folder, and it has, if you don't already know this, it works a little bit like a folder. It has a little arrow saying there's something in there. So if it doesn't pop up there, if it's still blank, it might be in there if there's a little arrow. So this image looks like it's a bit smaller, but I'll just resize that. It might be a bit pixelated. No, it looks okay. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to resize all the images and crop things and just make them so they all fit those particular artboards. And I want like cropped sections, so it looks sort of dramatic and, like something like an artist would produce on their Instagram page or something. So it's sort of got a focal point for each one. Okay, so if they want to look at the complete images, then they can do that by, clicking on the link or whatever. So it's like a preview or something for a exhibition catalog or something like that. So I'm getting the composition the way I like them, and just kind of adding a bit of focal point as well. So something, that might draw in people's attention, and pretty much got them how I like them right now. So I've got 6 images. I could do a lot, obviously I could make variations of them. So say I want this image, if I click on the artboard tool, I can click on this again and then select. So I've selected the artboard. You can also select it on the layer panel, and then I'm going to hold down Alt and make a copy of that image, and then make a different image using that same one. So just be careful with overlap. It can confuse the program a little bit. So you might want to just move the artboard away. It can be a bit messy if you don't manage the artboards, but just whenever you're selecting artboards, just click the artboard tool and it'll make it easier to select the artboards themselves. So then once you're ready to edit, just go back to the move tool and you can make your little selections and things like that. If the issue is happening where it is overlapping and you haven't moved the artboard away, you can also just crop it. So use the vector crop tool and you can just crop it down so you know sort of roughly where you want the image to be, and then you can just crop it to size. So you can see it, if I move that away, see it's cropped. You can fix that as well by uncropping it and just putting it back the way it was. So again, pretty simple, not a hard thing to do at all. You just got to manage which tools you're using to select things. So just for the sake of showing that function, I will leave that there. And so next thing is I'm going to export them all. by using the export persona, which is just here. And it will bring you, if you click on it, it will bring you to this thing where it's got these blue borders and it's got the resolution around each one. Quite often it will add the extra 1 pixel for some reason. It doesn't really affect anything. If you know why that does that, then please let me know. But I haven't had any issues with it. It's already selected them all. You can unselect if you like. You can hold down Shift and unselect that way, or select them all, or whatever. But I've got 7 slices there. You can also make new slices. You could say if you want to slice it so you can see them all in one image, like a little preview kind of, artboard, you can do that as well. And you can see the pixel count up the top here. So that's about it. Sometimes it defaults to the layers panel. So you've got the layers panel and the slices panel. And basically all you want is to be able to export the slices. So you just select them all and export them. You can also select the different types of images. So it's JPEG or PNG, and then you've got quite a few other interesting options there. I think it's scales and stuff like that. So you might make it double the resolution and whatnot. So I don't want that one. I just want these ones here. So I'm going to export the 7 slices that I've created, and 1080, that's all I call it. So here I've just created a folder and I will just export them into that, and it should just export them. Okay, so let's go and have a look. So we've got the art folder, and you'll see there's a folder called 1080, and you'll see that all these images are in fact 1080 or 1080 by 1081 for some reason. So that's the process. It's pretty straightforward, and I know that Designer is not really a photo program, but you're not editing the photos, you're just cropping them and preparing them for export. So I've found that a really good function to use and saves a lot of time, and also I like looking at how they'll all look together. So I hope this helps, and yeah, give me a sub and a like, and please share any comments. I'd love to know people's thoughts on why it sometimes upscales a pixel and sometimes it doesn't, and any other tips that make exporting photos, large quantities of photos, easier. I would love to hear what you found with the Affinity programs, ways to do it might be even better than this. So yeah, hope you have a good day.